I know, chasing that dough, hitting that road, getting that money, man. All I know, loading that foe, kicking down doors, getting that money, man. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is, did Terence Crawford earn a 50-50 split with Errol Spence Jr. after stopping Shawn Porter? Conspiracy G, what's your answer to that question?
I'll say yeah, why not? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I won't be mad if Spence tries to, negotiate like 60-40, but 50-50, yeah, why not? He stopped Porter. You know what I mean? Like Porter's corner threw in the towel. Porter himself said, "I've never taken punches like that." So I think, yeah, that could warrant a 50-50 split. You know what I mean? And especially if TC is officially crossing the street now, I think, Al Heyman and them will be more willing to make it a 50-50 split. So I think that can happen. The fight was exciting last night. That I'm pretty sure that victories boost TC's, pay-per-view profile. So I think that could justify. I still got to wait to see the numbers from last night, but I think the numbers did good. And so that could warrant him having a 50-50 split against Errol Spence Jr.
All right, Trill Dollar Bill.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Nah. Like, I'm with the 60-40, G. I'm with the 60-40. I believe it could be 50-50 if he snatched that other belt from Ugas. Then I can entertain a 50-50. You know what I'm saying? I'm just still saying who accomplished more at welterweight. Let's talk about who has fought the best at 147. Okay, let's just talk about who got more medal at 147. It's still the homie Errol. So I'm going with Errol 60-40. But if TC can go snatch that belt for Ugas, sign the PBC, and they give him Ugas and, 3-fight deal, give him somebody, and then give him Ugas, and then put him in there with Errol, because Errol still got to have a comeback fight after having this layoff. So maybe throw him in there with Ugas if he can grab that belt, and then get in there with Errol, and then that could be for undisputed at 147, and then that will be 50-50. But until he snatches that other belt from Ugas, I'm saying 60-40.
60-40 from Trill. 60-40 from Trill. Ned, what do you say?
But hold on. We got to acknowledge, man, Nostradamus just did it again. Al's going to definitely do what Trill just said. I guarantee it. I mean, I'm co-signing Trill on this one.
G's co-signing Trill. G has done his, second flip-flop of the day. All right, Ned the TV.
Nah, Crawford hasn't earned a 50.
Oh wait, the first flip flop was on Kenny Porter. Just so y'all know. Right.
I flip flopped on the Kenny, but
you flip flop on the Trill too. No, because you said 50-50. All right, 50-50, and then
Trill broke it down how it can happen. That's exactly what Al Heyman's gonna do.
I'm with Trill, but I'm saying with you. This your second flip-flop, G. That's all I'm pointing out.
God bless.
Go ahead, TV. I'm sorry, TV. Just had to point out G's on flip-flop. He going for 3. All right, go ahead, Nick.
G need flip-flop sponsored by Crocs, yo. That's all I'm saying. But, I think Crawford earned him a 45-55 deal split between Earl. And that's because he proved himself last night. Last night, I'm not mad at the fight. I'm mad at the towel throw. I'm a little mad. I'm letting it go. I'm understanding the relationship and everything. Everything's coming. I'm coming there. I'm accepting what happened last night. But we can't forget about Ugas. Unless Undisputed is on the line, it's 45-55. And Crawford, you're leaving Top Rank. Ugas is still a dog out here. He beat Pacquiao, and we cannot knock Ugas for his name's not supposed to be mentioned between these two fighters. It's Ugas. It goes Spence, TC, Ugas. And if you want 50-50, you gotta take the belt from Ugas. Or if Spence takes that belt from Ugas, if you let Spence take that belt from Ugas, now it goes back to 40-60. because Spence took more punishment than you did, or Spence went through the more fight than you did to get more belts, or to solidify why he's the A side, you're the B side. So if you really wanted 50-50, you gotta really call out Uga. You should have called out Uga. You beat Porter last night, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna say anything more. At this point, it's 45-50. Spence gets the 45-55 back.
Yeah. So for me, it really depends, and I'm gonna break down the ways. As it currently stands, no. For me, he didn't earn 50-50. It would be 60-40. And for me, the reason it would be 60-40 is you beat Shawn Porter, and that's what's up. But let's talk about it. Like I said, Kell Brook beat Shawn Porter. Keith Thurman beat Shawn Porter. Errol Spence beat Shawn Porter. And Shawn Porter has a victory over Ugas, but a lot of people, including myself, believe Ugas beat Shawn Porter, and he has a victory over Danny Garcia. But a lot of people, including myself, believe Danny Garcia beat Shawn Porter as well. So here you have a guy who's always in tough, competitive fights. And if TC would have dominated Shawn Porter, meaning he would have won every round and the fight wasn't in the balance at the time of the stoppage, I would say TC proved that he's levels above Errol Spence Jr. But that's not what I saw. I saw a fight that looked like every other fight that people have with Shawn Porter, except it happened at the tail end of Shawn Porter's career. And so wear and tear encouraged his dad to throw in the towel when his son was still coherent, when his son still wanted to fight. Again, that's no knock against TC. That's not TC's fault that they threw in the towel. It's not TC's fault that the fight wasn't allowed to play out. But to act like wear and tear did not play a role, to act like wear and tear was not on Kenny Porter's mind, which is he admitted it was on his mind, is you being disingenuous. Now, to earn a 50-50 split, to me, you must raise your profile to a level of one that is equal or exceeds, right? And so we need to see the pay-per-view numbers. If the pay-per-view numbers come back and he did pretty good, that helps his argument. He stopped Shawn Porter when Errol Spence didn't do it. That helps his argument. So I think, for me, it's still going to be at 60-40 because although you beat Shawn Porter, you beat a guy who 20 out of 20 ring magazine experts picked Terence Crawford to win. Terence Crawford was a 7-1 favorite to win the fight. And so, again, there were some people who picked Shawn Porter like myself, but I knew going out, I was going out on a limb. But for me, I'm the type of person who likes to do that, especially when I like the fighter better than the other fighter. And I mean, I hate to tell you guys, I like Shawn Porter better than Terence Crawford, if you don't know, because Shawn Porter fights everybody. Shawn Porter has fought everybody. He's been in close losses. And to me, close losses don't hurt your stock. It actually makes me like you better. I knew Shawn Porter wasn't going to get washed. I freaking knew it. So, I'm not surprised. TC got the victory, and he showed a lot. And I salute him for that. But beating Shawn Porter doesn't automatically make you pound for pound great. So, with that being said, no. But if he signs with PBC, I think he deserves 50-50. Because if he signs with PBC, it gives them the best welterweights in the world. And so for that reason, I could see them willing to give him 50-50 because that'll be something where they could work out a rematch and make it easier it'll be easier to work out numbers. If he signs with PBC, it'll be easier to work out other fights. It will be easier to put Crawford in rotation. Win, lose, or draw, Crawford can get multiple fights. They can make multiple things happen, right? Crawford, you sign the PBC. Okay, we make you versus Spence. You lose to Spence, we'll have you fight Ugas then. You can try to get a belt back. All right, TC, we'll have you fight Ugas, and if you beat Ugas, then however they want to play it. But if he's not signed to PBC, I think it's going to be very tough for him to get a 50-50 split with Errol Spence because he hasn't accomplished what Errol Spence has accomplished at welterweight just yet. So for that reason, I'm going to have to say no, he hasn't earned a 50-50 split with Errol Spence Jr. at this particular point in time. But if he signs with PBC, I think he will get offered a 50-50 split because of the multiple fights that they can make with him.
Yo, and they could also do 60-40 in favor of Spence. But if you beat Spence in the rematch, 60-40 your way. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to have a rematch clause. Well, at least they should for that type of fight.
I agree with you, but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking in order to get TC to sign with them, which is the most important thing, they're going to need to offer him 50-50 for Errol Spence fight. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that Terence Crawford wants the Errol Spence fight. Like, you heard what he said to Bob. Like, I think, to me, I take TC for his word. He wants Spence. I do believe that. Like, for him to leave and say it flat out to Bob, if he never really wanted Spence, Bob would have been like, you never wanted Spence. I tried. Nah, he wanted Spence. TC wanted Spence. Now, I believe that. So if they give him 50-50, then you can't ask for a better deal if you're Terence Crawford.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
You're welcome.